Welcome to WagerTalk TV. This is kind of the Ask the Experts segment that we've been doing. Guys, if you have something fun you want to tweet us, you can tweet me at Kelly in Vegas, at WagerTalk. Ralph Michaels, Teddy Covers, you guys can tweet them as well. Question we got from L. Carroll25 on Twitter. When your bettors' edges seem to be in a slump, what are your go-tos to get out of that slump? Take a day off of betting, maybe clear your head, increase, decrease bet volume in units. He's asking for a friend.
Yeah, great question. And of
you
course,
notice Johnny didn't put Marco in this because he didn't want to embarrass him.
Yeah.
So,
we get the questions about being in a slump.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. But it's very, very real, okay? If you bet, you're going to have bad streaks. Eventually, you will have a rough run, and sometimes you're going to be out of sync with the markets and out of sync with the teams and losing all the close decisions. And part of being a bettor is learning how to deal with losing, because it's inevitable and it's going to happen. And if you do it wrong, you'll blow your bankroll right away.
That's a great point. Teddy said, learn how to lose. And that is, I think, the number one thing we got to focus on. So I'll let you finish.
Sure, but it's horrible to say. It comes out as a terrible soundbite. Yeah, learn how to lose, but you got to learn how to lose. And I guess part of my origin story is a disaster bowl season. How I ended up in Las Vegas. I was a bookie, I was a bettor. I had one particularly dismal bowl season where I doubled up, and then Lawrence Phillips ran wild on Nebraska, on Florida in the bowl game, and there I was owing like I was way in debt. I was as effed as I've ever been. And I'm like, this has to change. You have to do this differently if you're going to move forward. So one of the things that you learn from there is don't martingale.
Yes.
You don't double up when you're not seeing things clearly. The concept of reducing unit sizes when you're ice cold makes a ton of sense. You want to increase your unit sizes when you're seeing things clearly, and winning when you're not seeing things clearly is the last time to double and triple and quadruple up.
I'm just going to expand on one of Teddy's points there. And just a quick reference for those numbers, guys. Let's say you have a $10,000 bankroll and you're betting 1%. WagerTalk 3, 4, or 5 or Sports Memo means you'd be betting $300 a game, $400 a game, or $500 a game, or $100 per percent. Mm-hmm. Okay? You have a horrible week. You're down to $8,000. You then redo your units to $80 a unit. So you're betting $240, $320, or $400 a unit. If you continue to lose down to $6,000, you go down to $60 per unit. That's just one quick way in your mind to show you how much you should not wait to react, but react immediately after your time period ends. I can't agree with you more. My number one thing that I wrote down with Teddy is I said, make peace with your losses. Mm. You have to write them off. You have to say they're bad. Taking a day off, I think, is a great example. I mean, I'm not afraid to pass a day, absolutely. And also,
especially if you don't love something. I mean,
I
clear your mind.
I tell people that all the time. They're like, what do you like today? I mean, it's NBA. I don't like anything.
If I'm ice cold, I go up to Red Rock. I go up to Mount Charleston. I absolutely clear my mind.
Yeah.
Go to the pool. Go do something. Go see a movie. Do something that has nothing to do with sports betting, and take that whole day off.
Is the bar okay?
You need to.
Is the bar okay?
Okay.
That's where I'll go.
As long as you're not going to get drunk and put in bets in your phone.
To me, two more things. Learn from your mistakes and work harder to improve them. And what I mean by that is, how often do you get in a situation where you're playing catch up or you're trying to make another game and you hear 1 point and that's the reason you bet the game. Mm. If you're writing them down, you're going to have 3 good points, you're going to have 3 bad points, and you have to weigh if that game is worth being a play. Statistically, technically, matchup.
Situationally,
you have to look at all of those situations and not base a play on that. And then, writing things down to me is the number one reason. How many times have you done, when I'm going through college basketball, there's 150 games, I'll say, wow, I like this matchup in my head. And then I start to write up a play for my clients, and I start looking at the numbers, and I just say, Well, no, I really don't like it that much when you're looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
By writing out the points, like I said, the positives and the negatives, there's many times I'll either not like a play or like a play more. So when you're in that situation, write out a play like you were selling a play. Go to WagerTalk, read the write-ups. I mean, that's the best thing about WagerTalk. When you go and you see those cappers plays, you can read exactly what they write up. Pretend like you're writing up a game to sell to people. Is that game strong enough for you to bet? And then make that decision.
As you mentioned, sell it to yourself or sell it to your friends, however it may be. But you're right, you should have a laundry list of reasons why you like the game.
Absolutely.
One last thing when you're losing, smash something. You know, I take a baseball bat. I go out in the backyard, I find a bush, and I mean, I'm so frustrated. I'm wet. You know, it's very cathartic. Don't smash a person. You can get in trouble for that. But and you know what? You'll feel better. You take a day off. You come back, and it's a whole fresh new world. So don't let it beat you. Don't let it eat you alive. Good luck.
All right, guys.
Slump.
Make sure you listen to the Wager Talk podcast on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all major podcast networks.